You ever notice how Marvel and DC have the same characters and it seems like one rips off the other? I mean, you got Flash, Quicksilver, back and forth, Marvel and DC basically have the same characters. But one of them always seems to do it a little bit better. So this is going to be one in a series of videos that me, Great White, and Kenney do where we talk about which one did it better. And today's video is about Aquaman and Submariner, Prince Namor. So hold on to your flippers. It's about to get nerdy in here.
Nerd, nerd, nerd. Nerdfarious.
I'm Stark.
I'm Great White.
I'm Kenney Mesnard.
And on this episode of Who Did It Better, Marvel or DC, we are comparing two kings of the sea, Marvel's Submariner versus DC's Aquaman. Now, Submariner or Submariner...
Nobody calls him that.
Nobody calls him that?
No.
Oh, they should. Submariner came out a little bit before Aquaman in 1939, and Aquaman came out in 1941. So let's start with Submariner, Prince Namor. Kenney, what do you love and hate about him?
I love Submariner when he's a villain. I like him better when he's his arrogant, kind of cocky self. What I hate about him is the fact that you can't hardly write anything for him. That's why he never hardly shows up, because there's not good stories for people who come from the water who are on land.
Yeah, I agree. I love him as a villain.
I'm going to take a little different approach. I agree with you. I like him as a villain, but I don't know that he's necessarily a villain. He cares about him and his people. Now, if that aligns with what you're doing, good for you. If it doesn't, he doesn't really care. Then he's the bad guy in your eyes. But his agenda is always the same. It's about him and his people moving forward. You get on board or don't get on board. And that's what I love about him. He's like, I don't care whether you like me or not. I don't care tomorrow or whether you like me or not. This is how it is today. My point on what I don't like about him is kind of the same as Ken's. I think he's underutilized. He doesn't appear as often as he should. He pops up every now and then. Somebody tries to bring him into a story. But he is hard to write for. So I kind of agree with you on that point. But I still think that with some of the writing that's going on now with Grant Morrison and Jonathan Hickman, I think they could find a place for him and use him a little bit better than he's been used over the last 30, 40 years.
Yeah, I agree completely with both of you guys. He's always seems to be the anti-hero. He's neither good or bad. He just does strictly what is best for himself and his underwater kingdom. That's what I love about him. I also love that he kind of sees surface dwellers as the enemy. And I mean, honestly, we do pollute the ocean and all that. So that's cool. And the other part about it that I like about him is that he was on the invaders team. And he was there in the 1940s fighting the Nazis during World War II alongside Captain America. And I think that's pretty cool that he saw the Nazis as a threat and he joined the invaders team. Now, the thing that I hate about him is that if you look at the early comics that Submariner appeared in, of course, because he came about in 1939, was that he was drawn with a square head. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Triangle.
Yeah, what was that? Yeah. So that really bugs me. And then the other thing I hate about Submariner is I hated that Marvel movie version where they changed him to be, Aztec or something instead of an Atlantean.
Yeah, I missed out on that, I guess.
Well, I didn't watch it
not
either.
so much.
I don't know,
you really didn't miss out at all. I did watch it, and I agree with you. I don't think the background change was necessary. I don't think it advanced the actual story of the Submariner forward at all. That whole movie is a travesty. Even people that loved the first movie, I mean, a lot of people went and saw it, but they only went and saw it once. They didn't go again. It was not a good movie. it was not well written. I think Ryan Coogler, I thought he did a good job on the first Black Panther. That one, I feel so bad for Chadwick Boseman, who's now no longer with us, that he's having to see that from beyond the grave, and that's what they did with the franchise after he was gone. Because that first movie was very solid, and they dumped all over it in the second.
Yeah.
I guess one of the things that's really good for Submariner is he gave us back Captain America. That's really the only thing I can say about that.
That's true. Yeah, in Avengers #4,
he threw the ice.
He threw the ice that Captain America was in. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, Avengers in their, what was it, a submarine? I don't know. Yeah, they snatch him out.
Melted and they found him. I don't know.
Yep. Okay, so now... Great White, what do you love and hate about DC's Aquaman Arthur Curry?
You know, the most redeeming thing I can find about Arthur Curry is he can get help from the fishes. I'm sorry, I wasn't a big DC reader, and I know I'm way oversimplifying and making a humorous joke at it. The character was so weak that they had to completely go back and completely reinvent him. Now he was this prim proper guy, and then he had long hair and a beard, and he had his trident, and then he lost his hand, and he had a trident on his hand, and there's all these iterations to try to make him a viable character, and honestly, nobody cares. Even the other Justice League doesn't care whether Aquaman is there or not. Superman doesn't need him. Batman doesn't need him. But I don't see where he's valuable at all in any way whatsoever, except for to represent the water peoples.
So where was your love on that one?
It's a mystery. We'll find out here after a while.
How about you, Kenny?
So what I love about Aquaman is issue 29 of the third series, mostly because the color on the cover is fantastic. And I'm not just saying that because I colored it. But short of that, Aquaman is pretty useless. He's not needed ever, and as a character, I'm not a super fan. What I do love about him, though, I do like his color scheme. I like his outfit. His outfit's cool, and when they gave him the long hair and the cut off his hand and gave him like some kind of pointy fish hook, that was kind of cool, I thought, but I don't know if he grew that back or what he did. I don't know. It's beyond
nobody does.
It's beyond my reading of the character. So yeah, I don't. It's hard to find a strong, compelling reason to have Aquaman around.
Yeah. For myself, what I love about Aquaman is that I don't know if you've read the New 52 series with Jeff Johns, but he doesn't take the character too seriously, and he likes to poke fun at him, and the artwork was really good. So I loved that series of Aquaman. And then I also like that he has this wife, Mira, who's got little, water bending powers. But that's not really Aquaman. But I like his wife.
No, what you're saying is Mira, his wife, a secondary character, is better than Aquaman. And you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
And then as far as hate, I don't like that he wants to unite Atlantis with the surface world. And then, like you said, in the late 80s and 90s, where somehow Aquaman loses his hand. And I think it's funny that both you guys thought that as well, and I had that down on mine. And I don't know if it was a spear or a harpoon hand.
It was like a harpoon or something, if I remember.
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't know if he was supposed to be turning into pirate Aquaman. But if he did lose his hand, he should have rubbed some plankton on it and on that stub and then just swam it off. That's what a real man does.
He had the long hair the same time Superman came back, I think, with long hair.
Oh,
yeah.
That was
the mullet.
The mullet heroes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't that cool then. It definitely isn't now.
The thing I love about Aquaman more than anything is Black Manta.
Yeah.
I mean, he looks cool.
Yeah.
And as a villain, he can be kind of cool. He just looks really cool. So that alone gives him a little bit more of an edge of like having a cool villain than say Namor. I don't know what Namor's main villain is, but
I don't think that he has a true like nemesis. At least, like I said, I wasn't ever a big reader, a big follower of it because he's been hit and miss. He's had his own book a couple times. What they should do is like pairing with another unlikable character from Marvel, North Star from Alpha Flight, who hates everybody and everything and doesn't care about nothing except for him and whoever he's dating at that point. Pair them up in some like buddy adventure and see how that goes.
Maybe they could date.
Maybe they could date. Absolutely, it could, or maybe they destroy each other, or some sort of. Actually, no, that probably wouldn't happen because Namor would just crush his little skull, but because North Star's pretty much useless as well. He's right in that Aquaman vein. And I'm an Alpha Flight fan. But
you just sit in your car while you're driving thinking about how much you hate North Star?
No, it just... I've not ever... In none of the stories that I've seen him in, he's like Aquaman. He's not a super important character. Be there, don't be there. Nobody really cares because all he's going to do is bitch and complain about it, excuse my language, anyway. So why have him there? Nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants negative Nancy around all the time.
I always enjoyed North Star as Aurora's brother. That's how I thought of it.
Yeah,
but
of course, to a teenage boy, Aurora was super hot. It's like, okay, if North Star's there, whatever.
Okay, so it's time to vote on who did it better. Now, write the name of the superhero you think is better.
The mystery abounds. Okay.
When I tell you, we'll go. This is just like Survivor. Okay. We'll go. I'm going to go one by one, and we're going to reveal our answers. Hang on tight. Great White, reveal your answer.
A lot of back and forth, a lot of deliberation on this topic, but I think the clear winner is Submariner.
Marvel Submariner. Okay. I'm going to reveal my answer now. Marvel's Submariner.
Okay, well, I think Aquaman is stupid, but I think it's better than Submariner. So that's my vote. Aquaman by a fish.
By a fish.
By a fish.
But in the whole scheme of things,
you are the weakest link.
You are the weakest link. Yeah.
Submariner. Yeah, Submariner. Clearly,
Marvel Submariner's better. You heard it here first, folks.
Last.
This is the definitive results on the scientific people. Hey, was that exciting or what? These Marvel or DC Who Did It Better videos is going to be something else, huh? I'm looking forward to doing some more. So like and subscribe, and you'll get to see more of them. You won't miss an episode. And thanks for watching.